When I was a child, I could be a ninja or princess and explore fantasy worlds right in the comfort of my room. The park or tree outside could become a deep forest that elves and fairies frolicked in and spoke to me with the power of my imagination. Also knew how to do household chores and schoolwork. My name is Krystal Andrews. I'm a student at the University of Tennessee, and I'm going to show you how when I look around today, all the kids I see have their faces buried in one electronic device or another. And I plan to tell you how electronic usage is negatively affecting our children by causing kids to have shorter attention spans, be less active, increasing anger and depression, and hindering learning, which is why their usage of said devices need to be monitored and limited to allow children to grow up into functioning adults. Children no longer know what to do with even a minute of free time. I've seen this happen with my own children when we are driving somewhere like to the grocery store. My children whine and complain, I want my tablet, I'm bored. I tell them the store is minutes away, you don't need it. Upon arriving to the store, they happily help me push the cart and get groceries. Yet when I look around the store, all I see are other children on electronic devices. If for some reason the internet goes out, they immediately start crying and throw a temper tantrum. Adult moms try to keep them in their carts or near them while the children just run amok. This is because in the world of electronics, children have become used to being simultaneously stimulated mentally by electronics 24/7. Because of time limitations on electronics, my children do not do this. In a study called Using Portable Electronic Devices Substantially Counteracts Attention Enhancement Effects of Green Spaces by Jing in the Environment and Behavioral Journal, they state in 2012 the average American spent 13.6 hours a day consuming media on electronic devices. The article goes on to explain that this electronic usage has led to a significant increase in adults and children being diagnosed with attention deficit hyperdisorder, ADHD, and depression. They also state that this addiction is more prevalent in people younger than 30 years of age and even more common in persons younger than the age of 19. This suggests that the problem is likely to get worse in the coming decades. This is one of the main reasons children's electronic usage needs to be monitored and limited to lessen the effects they have on children with issues like ADHD. Another important factor is how kids no longer want to do physical activities because they'd rather be on electronic. There's been times I've taken my boys to their friend's house and I get a call a few hours later asking if I can pick them up. When I ask why, they tell me it's because their friends are playing a game and don't want to go outside. An article titled Association Between Electronic Equipment in the Bedroom and Sedentary Lifestyle, Physical Activity, and Body Mass Index of Children by Grierson Ferrari, Journal de Pediatria, talks about children who have a computer, TV, and video games in their bedroom spent on average 500.7 minutes a day on games and only 59.1 minutes on vigorous play. Out of the children studied and surveyed, 45.3% were obese or overweight. He followed up by saying moderate to vigorous physical activity was higher and body mass index was lower in children that had no electronic equipment in the bedroom. By limiting screen time and electronic usage, we can provide kids some electronic benefits while not hindering their health, growth, and development. How many of us have seen a child playing a game and then suddenly they stand up and throw their controller or hit their desk? They scream and they get so angry you are afraid they are going to turn into the Incredible Hulk. This is because the use of electronics for online gaming like Fortnite are leading to an increase in aggression and anger management issues. My own children have experienced this and start screaming, hacks, cheaters, before proceeding to throw stuff because someone killed them or blew up their base. With my children, this means they have to get off, but many children don't have this punishment to deter such behavior. Rikers W. addresses this in his article, Internet Use and Electronic Gaming by Children and Adolescents with Emotional and Behavioral Problems in Australia from the BMC Health. The study shows how out of adults and children surveyed, 41.8% of girls linked electronic usage to a significant increase in behavioral problems, while boys were at 19.4%. Out of almost 9,300 people surveyed, almost 3,000 of them were children ages 11 to 17. This highlights the huge increase in behavior-related disorders, specifically in rage and aggression, in children with one of the main reporters being the children themselves. Another issue presenting children today is learning hindrances caused by electronic usage. Today, when I ask my children what 10 times 6 is, they pull out their phones or computers, calculator. When I was a child, I used to be able to do math problems easily. I had an experience recently where I ordered food from a fast food place. They stated after I ordered they were cash only. I stated that was fine. My order total was $38.96. I handed the cashier, who was young, $40, to which she replied, "We can't take cash as we can't calculate the change. You'd get our machine broke." I thought, is this girl serious? I said the total is $38.96, so 4 cents would make the amount $39, and if you add $1, that makes it 40. So my change would be $1.04. She said she had no way to confirm that. I was blown away as I'd literally just explained how. I asked to speak to her supervisor, and they said the same thing. At a loss, I told them to keep the full $40 and just give me the dang food. In the article, Young Children and Tablets, a systemic review of effects on learning and development by C. Hirodatu, Journal of Assisted Living, he states that although electronic devices have helped children ages 2 to 5 in areas like reading and math, manipulating items on the screen requires a significant amount of work and as a result may have limited children's ability to comprehend and compute future transfer tasks. This is the wrong version. I have also received complaints from teachers via email stating that my children are on games during class time instead of doing virtual school like they are supposed to, even though school has blocked most websites on their Chromebooks. Mobile games and science learning, a comparative study of 4 and 5-year-olds playing the game Angry Birds by Hirodatu C. in the British Journal of Educational Technology explains how playing mobile games could help children learn about science and math. However, most of the games kids play, like Angry Birds, do not have any learning advantages and pull their attention away from classwork. In conclusion, I feel that children should have limited electronic usage as it seems causing a decrease in attention spans and leading to medical issues like ADHD and depression, causing increased aggression in girls and boys, causing our children and youth to be less active and hindering learning by kids playing games instead of listening to the teachers or memorizing facts and math when they can easily access the same information from their Chromebook or tablet. We all want the best for our children and for them to be successful adults and be productive. That's the goal as parents. And unless we start limiting electronic usage in our children's, I fear the next generation may not be able to be productive adults. Thank you for your time.